Hear me? All righty. Have a good practice. We'll get moving in about 2 minutes. Coming into that place of awareness. That state of awareness is the only place where the practice takes place in. It's also the concept that we rarely ever talk about. So awareness is a place of receiving sensation. You may be aware at times when your awareness is up in your mind. Your mind likes to plan for the future and remember the past. While this is handy to us as humans, we do not need to be planning or remembering anything while we are practicing. So to get out of your mind, you feel your body. You feel any part of your body. When you bring your awareness into your body, you'll notice that how your body is communicating to you is through sensation. Think of sensation as energy information. It's energy data. And your awareness is going to download all this information from your body for the rest of the practice. 1 more minute. Well, let's start to move. So we're going to begin on the 2 feet, standing at the front of your mat, so that we can begin our little ritual with the sound of Om. Make sure your head is still in there a bit. We join our feet, we join our hands, we lower the chin, close the eyes, take a deep inhale. And release the hands to the side of the body. So we're at the front of the mat. Feet can be joined or a little space. You want to feel the hard floor under the feet to activate your leg muscles. Or in other words, hug your leg bones by engaging your leg muscles. The action you would feel is your kneecap lift up. You'd feel your thigh start to bulge out at the front of your pants. And you'd feel a gentle space being created at the back of the thigh. Now come up a little higher into the pelvis and find that first neutral pelvis by either bringing the front of the body in or at the back of the body where the sacrum and the tailbone, it goes down towards the heels. Go up a little higher to the ribs just above your stomach. Those two come in so those ribs at the back body can open and breathe with ease. Now, keeping what you've established, let's move. Inhale, lift the arms up without losing any of the connection below the arms. And exhale, fold forward and bring the hands to the floor. Keep the legs active. Inhale, lift the chest and the chin up from the knees. And then put the hands down so you can exhale back to your plank position and lower all the way down to the floor. You're going to point the toes back. Hands are just behind the armpits. Inhale, come up. You can keep your arms bent Or if it's appropriate, all the way up to straight arms. And then on the exhale, curl your toes under, lift up your hips, and move the back of the thigh towards the wall behind you. For 1, noticing with your awareness the quality of your breath. 2, think of the quality of the breath as the quality of the practice. Not how much you're working out, not how much you're stretching, but how well the breath is moving. We only breathe in and out through the nose because it recruits the part of the nervous system that keeps you calm. Your awareness notices what part of the upper body you are breathing into, and you make the effort into trying to breathe evenly into your back as you do into the front. Now bend your knees, look to the hands. Use your inhale, step or jump forward, and then create that long lifted up spine position. Then exhale, fold into the legs so the head hangs loose. Use your legs, inhale, lift up, raise the spine, raise the arms, bring the hands together. And with strong legs, exhale back to Samasthiti. Number 2 is just like that. With more sound, inhale, lift through the arms. More smooth sound, exhale, folding down the legs. The smooth sound, inhale, lifts the chest and the chin up, long spine position. Hands go down with a smooth exhale, lower all the way down onto the floor. Reset the feet, press into the palm, inhale, lift the shoulders up above the wrist bones. Press to the palm, exhale, lift the hips, roll over your toes, and come onto the soles of the feet. And then here, open the feet a little wider than what you do when you're standing. Even though you opened out the stance, make sure the heel is behind the second or third toe. And the heels are more moving out to the sides than moving in towards the midline. And all that talk of the feet and the action of the feet is really coming from the thigh, from the femur and its relation to the hip. Let's go back to moving with breath. Bend the knees with a smooth inhale, step, jump forward, and then lift up a few inches. With sound, exhale, fold down, let the head hang. Follow the sound up. Inhale, rise up, belly up and in, hands back together. And smooth sound, exhale, arms back to the side of the body. Number 3, inhale, lifting, squeeze the palms together above the head. Exhale, forward bend from the hips, hands to the floor. Then on the inhale, you create a little back bend, lifting up from the knees. Hands become the foundation. Exhale to your plank position, lowering down with your neutral pelvis. Reset the feet, then the hands. Inhale, lift only the upper body. Press to the floor, and then exhale, lift up the lower body, the hips and the legs. Let's come back to the breath. For 1, make your exhale just a fraction of a second longer than the inhales. If you want to stretch something out in your practice, try stretching out the breaths. But all other positions in the body in which you're stretching, really what you're doing is opening spaces for organs and glands. Move your beginner mind out of the stretch and into the organ work, the energy work, the energy information that we talked about at the very beginning of the practice. Back to moving. Look at the hands. Bend the knees. Inhale to the feet, and then lift the spine up. With strong legs, exhale, forward bend into the legs, head hangs down. Inhale, rise up with sound, bring the hands together. With your legs strong, exhale, release the arms along to the side of the body. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, lift just the arms. Exhale, forward bend from the hips, hands down. Inhale, lift the spine and lengthen from tailbone to crown of head. Hands become the foundation to exhale to plank, to low plank, maybe to your chaturanga. Reset, inhale, lift through upper body. Press down, exhale, lift up back of the body. Listening to the sound for 1. Notice what's different now in the breath from when you started for 2. Remember, this is all a breathing practice for 3. A breath that fills the 4 corners of the entire upper body for 4. Take one more of your deeper, better breaths and finish with an exhale. Look forward to where you're stepping or jumping. Inhale, step, jump, lift the spine up. Exhale, fold the spine down. Inhale, lift the spine, raise the arms, bring the palms back together. Exhale, standing tall, release the arms. Last one, just like that. Inhale, lifts through the arm. Exhale, fold your belly down the tops of the thighs. And then inhale, lift up away from the legs. Use your hands to exhale your feet back, lowering with your neutral pelvis. Inhale, extend the spine versus bending the spine. And exhale, fold at the hip. Release the head down and breathe. Breathe as if it's all we're doing here. The majority of the benefit on the brain and the nervous system all comes from the breath. When we focus on the breath, the mind just gets quiet because you are no longer paying attention to the mind. You are no longer giving it your attention. Your body has its full attention. Back to moving, bend the knees. Look forward. Inhale, step, jump, and do that little lift up. Exhale, fold down into the legs. Inhale, when you take the back bend to come up, bring the hands together, keep the belly up and in. Then stand tall, exhale, hands release. Surya Namaskara B just gets a little longer. You bend the knees and inhale, arms go up. Exhale, you fold down as you straighten out your legs. Inhale, that lengthened position with the spine. Hands down, exhale, step, jump, and lower into your low plank with neutral pelvis. Inhale, lift without locking your elbows. Exhale, press back without locking the elbows. Turn the left foot out, step your right foot forward. Use the inhale to lift your body in space. And then the exhale takes the hands down, steps you back to plank, lowers you with neutral pelvis. Inhale, lifting, micro bend the elbows. Exhale, press back, micro bend the elbows. Pivot the right. Step your left foot this time. Long, smooth inhale to come into your warrior. Exhale, long, smooth breath to return to your chaturanga with neutral pelvis. Inhale, opens and broadens the chest. And then exhale, presses the chest towards the knees. The head hangs nice and loose. And you slow down your breath for 1. Making the next breath even slower than the first one for 2. Meaning these breaths are much longer and smoother than the ones you choose to move with for 3. Regulating the pace and the tempo of breath for 4. Take one more. And then finish with your exhale. Next inhale, step, jump forward, plant the feet, create length of spine. Exhale, forward bend down into your straight legs, then bend the knees. Inhale, raise up the arms. Exhale, stand tall, and release the arms. 2 more, just like that. As you bend the knees, inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, forward bend down the front of the thighs. Inhale, take that lift away from the thighs. Plant palms with your fingers spread. Exhale down to chaturanga, set the tailbone. Inhale, take a lift. Exhale, fold at the hip. Turn your left foot out, step the right foot forward. Inhale, look at the hands above your head. Exhale, hands go down. You look down at the mat as you lower down towards it. Inhale. When you lift, you can look slightly up to keep space in the neck. Exhale to down dog. Now pivot the right, step your left foot. Inhale, follow the hands above the head with the gaze. Exhale, follow the hands down to the floor. Reset the foundation. Inhale, lift, keep space in your cervical spine. Exhale, lift at the hip, reset the feet, and breathe. One. Two. Three. Four. Five. Bend the knees. Inhale to the feet, to lift through the chin. Engage the legs. Exhale, fold down. Bend the knees. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, stand up. To release. Last of Surya Namaskara B. Utkatasana, inhale. Uttanasana, exhale. Urdhva Mukha, inhale. Plant palms, exhale, jump, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right side warrior, pivot, step. Inhale, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, go down to the flow, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, up, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, back, Adho Mukha. Left side, pivot, step. Inhale, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, all the way down to low plank, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. And stay. Listen to the sound. If there is no sound, then you don't have it just yet. We put a little constriction in the back of the throat until the breath starts to sound like wind. Smoother the sound, smoother the breath. Now bend your knees. With an inhale, look forward and jump or step forward, then lift up through the chin, strong legs. Exhale, fold down. Utkatasana, bend the knees, inhale, hands up. Exhale, Samasthiti, onto your standing sequence. So inhale, separate your feet the width of your hips. Exhale, forward bend down the legs so you can grab onto your big toes with the peace fingers. Take an inhale there. And then from there, exhale, fold your belly down your thighs. If your arms can bend, they bend out to the sides and slightly back behind you. And the legs are the same legs as we started with. The quadricep muscle is still active. It's hugging around your leg bones. You're feeling a gentle space being created at the back of the thigh. While you think you're stretching your hamstrings, we're really opening the space of the lower back for the kidney. When we give space to the kidney, it sends the signal to the nervous system to relax. All positions are organic in nature. Inhale, lift your chest and chin. Exhale there. Inhale, slide your hands under the soles of your feet so your toes touch your wrist. Exhale, lengthen your spine down your legs for one. Lean forward so you feel the weight come into the front of the foot and the toes for two. Then try to pull the hands out from underneath you for three. Really what we're looking for is to pull your shoulders up away from your ears for four. Now take one more. We're going to come out the same way we went in. You would inhale up with your chin. Hands, exhale, release the feet. Inhale, you just lift your spine into your upright position. And you exhale your feet back together. Big toes touch or a little bit of space between the ankles. That first turn 90 degrees to your right. Open your feet the length of one of your legs with your arms parallel to the floor. Turn your right foot 90 degrees to the back. And exhale, extend your right arm over the extended right leg. And then lower your right hand below your right shoulder. Raise your top hand above your top shoulder. And turn your gaze, your drishti point, and look up at your top thumb for 1. We've now separated the feet, which likes to hyperextend the front knee. So just put a little micro bend to that front knee for 2. And use the action in your front leg to put more of your body weight in your back leg for 3. So it's your legs giving you access to creating length along your rib cage and your spine for 4. Taking 1 more. Look down with your exhale so you got your balance. Then inhale, come up. Turn the right foot to the right side, then your left foot to the front. Exhale, reach over the front as far as you humanly can, and then lower the left arm down. Raise the right arm up. Micro bend the front knee. 1. Ground the back heel for 2. Your 2 legs giving you access to recheck that you have that neutral pelvis for 3. How close can the navel be drawn up and in towards the back of the body for 4. Taking 1 more. Look down with your exhale. Lift up with your next inhale. Take your left arm up, the right arm down. Turn from the right side of the mat, so you turn all the way around and face the back edge of the mat. Square the hips, square the belly, square the chest and the shoulders. Then as you exhale, you forward bend down the inside of the right leg, left hand on the floor, right shoulder has lifted, right arm has extended for 1. Parvarita Trikonasana for 2. 2 feet and left hand on the floor for balance for 3. All those 3 contact points providing stability for the spine for 4. Take 1 more deep inhale in and look down with your exhale so you got your balance. Inhale, come up. When you turn back to face the front, you'd have your right arm in the air. Square the hips, and then exhale, take a forward bend down with the right hand. Press into the floor with the right hand, lift the left shoulder, and then reach up through the left arm. So you're going to reach the left hand to the ceiling above for 1. Be in a place of stability with the legs for 2. Meaning if you're a little shaky, adjust the back foot so it's rock solid for 3. Breathe purposely into those back ribs for 4. Now on that next exhale, look down. On your next inhale, you would lift up. And as you exhale, you would step your big toes together. Now let's do the same for Parsvakonasana or Parsvakonasana. Turn to the right side and take a wider step as you raise the arms. Pivot the right foot 90 degrees to the back with that neutral pelvis. Exhale, bend the right knee. Lower the right arm to the right side of the right leg or stay high on the knee. And then reach through your top left arm. So Nada, you're on your left side. We're doing our right side right now. Switch your sides. No, now you have your back to me. Turn your belly to me. Now do your right leg. Turn your right foot to the back. There you go. Right arm, right side, right leg, top arm. You got it. We're at 2. Extended side angle position. 3, take your bottom arm to the outside of your right knee. And put your, there it goes. You got it. 4. 5. Now actively press into the right foot to inhale, come up. Turn the right foot to the right side. Left foot to the front, arms parallel to the floor, bend the left knee, left arm, left side of left leg. Now reach the right arm forward. You got it. Turn the palm so it faces the floor. Look up. So you're going to lift the chin and you're going to look at the right hand. So where the right hand is where you're gazing. The gaze in yoga is the drishti. Where we look is where our energy goes. Notice how the gravity likes to pull you down. Gaze up and take your energy up. Now on your next inhale, press into the left foot, straighten your left leg. Bring the arms parallel to the floor now. Now, like the last twist, we take the left arm up, the right arm down, and you're going to turn all the way around and face the back edge of the mat. Square the hips. Now, bend the right knee. And exhale the back of the left arm to the far outer edge of the right knee. If you just get there, put your hands in a prayer position. If you know the full expression, well, by all means, help yourself. For 1, notice how the twists love to squeeze the lungs in the back. For 2, so can you counteract the twisting, the compression of the lungs by literally breathing out into the compression? For 3, remembering it's a breathing practice, not a stretching practice. For 4, take 1 more breath. And on your next inhale, you would lift up out of the right side. You would exhale and turn all the way around and face the front edge of the mat. You would have your right arm in the air. And you would exhale the back of that right arm to the far outside of your left knee. For 1. So that left armpit is being rotated so it's facing the ceiling above. For 2. Breathing into the back ribs. And then slowly exhaling for 3. Taking 2 more. And 1 more. And on your next inhale, you would lift up by straightening your front left leg. And your exhale steps your big toes back together. Samasthiti. So the space we had between the feet in the last position is the same we use now. So turn to the right, separate the feet, and keep all 10 toes pointing at the right side of the mat. So you need a much wider stance, not a wider, wider, wider. There it goes. Inhale, hands are on the hips. Exhale, forward bend down and put the hands on the floor, shoulder distance apart, just like your downward dog. Now take an inhale there, the chest and the chin are up. And then as you exhale, you lower the head to the floor. And if your arms can bend, you're going to press your palm into the floor with your hand under your elbow. For 1. Palm on the floor underneath the elbow. For 2. That would mean your lower arm bone from the wrist to the elbow is perpendicular to the floor. For 3. So when I'm looking at you from my perspective, the hand and the elbow and the shoulder are all in a nice straight line. For 4. Now we're going to come up the way we came in. So inhale, come halfway up. Exhale there. You can put your hands to the hips. And then inhale, come all the way up. Exhale once you're there. Inhale, extend the arms out. Hands exhale back to the hips. Inhale, you're standing tall. And exhale, you tilt the pelvis forward to lower your head to the floor. Second set. 1. Lift the shoulders up as close to the hips as you can. For 2. So there's lots of space between the shoulders and the earlobes. For 3. And your leg is still straight, like you're standing on it. So the quadricep muscle is still active. Kneecaps are still lifting up to the hips. For 3. And 4, taking 1 more. And you would use your next inhale and come all the way up because the hands are not on the floor this time. Good. Exhale once you're there. Arms inhale out. Exhale behind the back. Get to do the shoulders along with the forward bend. Inhale to prep. And exhale, forward bend down, head to the floor, and then reach the hands away from the lower back as they too want to come down to the floor like the head. 1. Breathing into the upper portions of the lungs. For 2. Maybe moving the hands slightly from the right side to the left side, just bringing a little subtle movements, moving it with breath. For 3. And 4. And 5. On your next inhale, come all the way up in one lift. Exhale, put the hands on the hips. Now we're going to go into this next one in stages, just like the first one. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, forward bend down and grab the big toes. Keep the chest and the chin up, inhale, and then bend the elbows up to the ceiling, and exhale, descend the head down to the floor between the big toes. For 1. Shoulders are still moving up towards the hips. For 2. So use those muscles that are just underneath the armpit, along the side of the body that pull the shoulder blades up to the hips. For 3. Those back muscles are extremely important to support the breath and contributing to the forward bend. For 4, take 1 more. We come up in stages. You would inhale halfway up. Exhale, release the toes. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, turn to the front and step into Samasthiti. Now, before you move your feet, bring your hands behind the spine into that reverse prayer position. So we'd have the pinky fingers touching the spine, fingers pointing up towards the back of the skull. Step back with the right foot, turn to the right side, and turn all the way around and face the back edge of the mat. And then exhale, take a forward bend down the inside of the right leg. The lower you go down towards your right foot, move the elbows up in space. So the elbows move up away from the floor, trying to bring the palms together. And if you can get the palms together, try to bring them evenly together. Bring the 4 corners of the palms together. Take 1 more deep inhale. And finish the exhale. Press into the right foot. Inhale to come up. Exhale, pivot all the way around to face the front. And then lower right back down into the second side. 1. Remember, it's a breathing practice. 2. Notice how your breath is different now in your practice. 3. Breathing into the space where you feel your hands. 4. Take 1 more. And then come up on your next inhale. Release the hands and exhale, big toes back together. Now we're going to do balance pose. We're going to do 2 of them. It may help to stand on the yoga mat or stand on the hard floor just on the side of the mat. Either way, focus your gaze. That's what's going to keep you in balance. Raise the right arm in front. And inhale, raise up the right leg. You can hold a bent knee, or the peace fingers are going to wrap and hold on to the big toe, in which you reach out to a straight leg. You can stay in an upright position, or exhale, fold forward from the hip like you're moving along the inside of that right leg. We're already at 3. Counting down to 2. And 1. On the next inhale, lift the head up to the ceiling. And then exhale, open your right arm and right leg about 45 degrees. And the challenge is to move the chin off the left shoulder. We're at 2. 3. Don't let the breath get quiet. 4. And 5. With the inhale, bring the leg back to the center point. Exhale, lower the head down to the knee, just a little forward bend. Inhale, lift the head back up. And then exhale, put both hands to the hips. For 1. You're reaching from the very back of the body through the bones of the feet for 2. Now play with lowering your right hip, but lift just the right leg bone, 3. Wiggle the toes when the foot starts to cramp for 4. One more breath in and lower it as you exhale down. Equal weight in both feet. First, find the balance. Find the one thing you're going to stare at. Raise your left arm. Inhale, raise the left leg. Grab the big toe. Exhale, extend the leg so it's straight. Bend the left elbow as you fold forward out of the hip. We're at 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, move the arm and the leg. Find the balance first, and then slowly adjust the chin to the right side for 2. Work the standing leg. Straighten the standing leg. 3, 4, 5. With the inhale, come back to the front. Exhale, lower the head to the knee. Inhale, lift the head up. Exhale, bring your left hand to your hip for 1. Both hands are on the hips so you can feel the height of the hips for 2. The hip that would be lifted would be the left one for 3. So drop the left hip from the armpit for 4. Raise that left foot a little higher so that you can exhale and lower it back to Sama Sthiti. Our standing half lotus, Ardha Baddha. Inhale, we're going to take our right leg into a half lotus position. The right foot would come to the crease of your left groin. Hold your right foot with your left hand and take your available right hand around the back and wiggle your right fingers down the left forearm towards the wrists, towards the right big toe. You can stand tall in this variation or exhale. You can lower yourself down into a forward bend using the left hand for balance. Right arm goes around the back. There it goes. Counting down from 5. But remember, a half lotus position does put the knee in a very compromised position. So even though we would like our body to move into these positions, pay attention to your joints. Respect your joints so that 20, 30, 40 years down the road, you still have good joints and you didn't ruin them through yoga. Seems like a silly concept, but I've seen lots of it. Now we come up in stages. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, put a big bend in your standing leg. Then inhale, come into an upright position. And exhale, release the right leg out. Equal weight in both feet. Now lean on the right foot. Find the balance first. Look at that one point so you're in balance. Inhale. Slowly lift the left leg into half lotus. You'd hold it with your right hand. Your left hand is the one that's reaching around the back and down the right arm for the big toe. Now stay up or exhale, you forward bend down. For 1. The difference between the two, okay, and the similarities between both is there is no pinching in that left knee. 3. 4. And 5. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, a big bend in the right leg. Then inhale, come up. You lift the leg out, you extend it out, and you bring the big toes back together. Now we do a little flow. So turn back to face the front of the mat. Engage your legs. Inhale, lift through the arms. Keep the legs strong. Exhale, forward bend down, hands to floor. Inhale, lift chest, lift chin, lift the gaze. Plant palms, exhale, step, jump back, lowering with neutral pelvis. Reset the feet, then the hands. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale, lift through the hips. Now look at your hands. Inhale, jump into Utkatasana. 1. Sitting and lifting for 2. As you sit, refine your neutral pelvis. Draw the navel in for 3. Externally rotating the arms at the shoulder so the thumbs are up and the pinky fingers are pointing down for 4. And then on this exhale, you're going to come down into a low squat position so you can set up for your Bakasana Crow. Knees are on the outside of the arms. Get a bent arm underneath the bent knee. So the upper arm bone is the platform for the knee. If you're not up already, you can use an inhale. And due to the challenging nature of the position, you decide how long you want to work here. Don't take too long. We've only got about 40 minutes left of class. Jump out, take a flow when you had enough. You know what the flow is by now. Protecting the back with neutral pelvis as you move into the back bend. These are our last 2 standing positions. Your left foot turns out at 45 degrees. Your right foot steps straight forward. Inhale, you come up, squaring the hips, squaring the shoulders. You raise the arms, you bring the palms together, and your drishti point. What you're looking at is your thumbs for 1. Your left hip is moving forward, and your right hip is pulling back for 2. That's just squaring the 2 frontal hip bone points. Now, using those 2 points, draw the navel in for 3. So we can get the tailbone to descend down to the floor. 4. Take 1 more breath. Now the challenge is to stay looking at your thumbs. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Now turn to your left side. Keep turning all the way around to face the back. And then rebend the left knee. And then adjust the back foot so it's turned in towards you. And go through the same things again. We're now going to move the right hip forward. We're going to pull the left hip back, squaring the 2 frontal hip points. And then we pull those 2 even points into the body so the tailbone at the back is descending down. All this talk of neutral pelvis is to create space in your lumbar spine. Now you're on your left side, stay on the left side. Now exhale into Virabhadrasana B. You take your arms to the length of the mat. You would open the back foot out at 90 degrees. So when your back foot now opens to the side of the mat, now the 2 hip bones are facing the side of the mat. You're looking right down the left arm, right through the left middle finger, and you are standing perfectly upright. So your shoulders are stacked on top of the hips. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Turn your left foot to the left side. Turn your right foot to the front. And as you rebend the right leg, pull in the navel as close to the spine as it can go. We're at 2. Last side, last standing pose. Everything from here is on the floor. In 3. 4. And 5. On this exhale, you go down with the hands first. You know what to do from there. You've taken this flow numerous times. The whole concept is protect your back with your neutral pelvis. From your down dog, inhale, you jump through to your first seated position that all positions begin with straight legs. You start sitting upright, so sit up as tall as you can. Press the hands to the floor right below the shoulders. Now create the feeling in your legs like you're standing on them. So engage the quad. Notice when you engage your thigh, the back of your thigh presses into the floor. The back of your knees would never touch. You'd feel the calf muscles touch. Your heels touch the floor. Your toes spread apart. And your toes curl back towards you. That is what we do with our legs whenever they are straight. Now, keeping that connection in your legs, inhale, reach forward for the big toes. And exhale, fold your belly over your thighs. Lift your lower ribs up on top of the thighs. And take your head as close to those big toes. Remember, you're holding the big toes to start with. Remember, each different grip on the foot has a different effect on the pelvic floor. Don't go to your deepest grip because we're not trying to create a deeper stretch. We're trying to have subtle effects with what we're doing with these little techniques. Second set, here is where you would go a little bit deeper. First, come up a few inches. Inhale. Grip the outer edges of the feet. Or maybe you can interlace the fingers around the soles of the feet. And then exhale back in. And when you move into this next variation, you try to articulate or understand what is the difference between the two grips. It's nothing to do with the stretch of the hamstrings. Everything is much more subtle than the stretch. On your next inhale, sit upright as tall as you can, and exhale, cross your legs. Vinyasa, inhale, lift your hips up first, then put the hands to the front. Exhale the feet back, that's one breath. Inhale the up dog, exhale to down dog, that's 2 breaths now. Inhale, jump to seated and straighten out the legs, that's 3 breaths. Now from here, lean back 45 degrees. Hands are right under the shoulders. Now point your toes. Press into the heel. Inhale, lift the chest as high as you can and reach the chin away from the 10 toes. For 1, elbows love to hyperextend, so try to bend the elbows to the wall behind you. For 2, inner rotate the upper arm bone at the shoulder. For 3, all in that to create a lift through the sternum. For 4, lift a little higher, inhale, and lower down, exhale. Now take that 3-breath vinyasa flow. Your breath and your movement in sync together. Move slowly, consciously, witnessing every little movement, every little sensation, all the way back to Dandasana. This one we did in the standing sequence. Inhale, take your right foot into that half lotus position, up into the crease of the groin. Reach the right hand behind you, so the right hand wants to grab that foot one of the days. Left hand reaches for the left foot. Inhale. And exhale, forward bend along the inside of your left leg. Ardha Baddha Padma, Pashi Multanasana. Half bound lotus, western facing position. We're already at 2. Still protecting and listening to that right knee, no pinching. For 3. And 4. And 5. Here is where you can tailor it a bit. At this point, you can take a flow in between the right side and the left side. Flows are always at the end of the left side. They're always even in the middle, but it's your practice. You decide. Don't let me just tell you what to do. You listen to your body and respond accordingly. Exhale in when ready to go. 1. Absorbing the sensations through the awareness. 2. You hear the sound of your breath. 3. 4. 5. We all take this flow. Come up, move with your breath. Cross your legs, do your lift, your jump back. Hop back to seated. Now we're going to close the right knee. We're going to put the top of the right foot on the floor and point the right toes to the wall behind us. Then we're going to bring the right knee in so it's pointing forward just like your left leg is. Inhale, bring the hands forward onto the floor or maybe to the inside of the left foot and the outside of the left foot. And when you exhale and go forward, try not to fall over to the left side. Notice how your right leg is kind of pushing you on top of the left side. Keep your chest down the space between the two knees. So may even have to maybe push that left hand into the floor a bit more to feel like you're centered. Your rib cage is centered on top of the two thighs. 3, 2, and 1. Just like before, you can flow in between the sides or skip the flow, go on to the other side. Your practice. You're in control. Listen to what you need and adjust accordingly. 1. Notice what's different now in the practice. 2. Notice the heat your body's been producing. 3. Notice the space that you've created through these positions. 4. 5. Back to the vinyasa part now. Up with your next inhale. Crossing, planting, lifting, breathing, jumping, moving, all sorts of good stuff. Coming back for more. Janu Shirshasana, one of the more basic positions. You take the right sole of your foot to the inside of your left femur bone. Both hands come to the left foot or wrap around the foot. So you'd have your right knee on the floor. Right knee is on the floor. There it goes. And now exhale. When you fold forward, you're doing a subtle twist. If you can go there, you're trying to bring your chest on top of the kneecap. So instead of just going along the inside of the straight leg, try to go on top of the straight leg. Again, it's not trying to deepen any stretch. All you're doing by moving over the left side is actually just creating more space on the right side of your lower back for your kidney. Kidney triggering your nervous system to keep you calm. 3, 2, 1. You know what to do. Inhale to switch the sides or inhale up to take a flow and then on to the other side. Left sole of the foot pressing to the inside of the right thigh. And the action of that bent left leg is what's giving you the extension to move on top of the right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to the vinyasa part. Move with your breath. Now we move a little bit more into the hips. This time the right foot, the sole of the foot stays on the floor, and you bring the right heel as close to the right sitting bone as you can. Right arm will reach up. It reaches forward, it goes around the front of the leg and then around the outside of the leg, and both hands would hold together on the back side of your right hip. Inhale, now fold forward like your head is moving towards your left big toe. Exhale. Squeeze the right leg for 1 with the arms. That's the bind. And then put pressure into your right foot and use your right leg to extend forward towards your left foot for 2. So your 2 legs are doing 2 different things. for 3. All the while, you're hearing the sound of the breath for 4. Take 1 more. And you know what to do. Switching sides or taking vinyasa in between the sides. Moving with awareness. Moving with breath. Articulating, understanding the movements as we go. Moving right into that next side when ready to go. Marichyasana A variation. Counting down. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Back to moving. Inhale, chin up. Exhale, release your pose. Plant your palms. Take vinyasa. Same position with the legs done as twist, C variation. So plant the right foot again, and you start with the right hand behind you on the floor. It's your left arm this time. You inhale and bring the back of the arm to the outside of the right knee. Exhale. Then inhale, press into the knee, sit up as tall as you can, and exhale, gaze back off the right shoulder. So we turn the chin to the right shoulder. We are sitting on both of the sit bones. And we're trying to create as much height as we can as we twist the spine. Already at 3. And 2. 1. On your next inhale, you would look to the front and exhale, release. Vinyasa or left side is waiting for you. Plant left foot, left hand behind, using the right arm on that left knee. Gazing back. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Look forward, inhale. Release, twist, exhale. Cross legs and inhale up. Exhale, jump. 3 sets of Navasana. Taking it easy on you today. No need to thank me. Jump back to seated. Inhale, raise up your legs. You can keep your knees bent. Raise the arms. Whether your arms or legs are straight or bent, reach through the mounds of the toes. We're already at 2. 3. 4. 5. Now cross the legs, hands down. Inhale, lift up the bum, put it back down, raise up the legs, raise up the arms. Second set. 5. 4. 3. The key word is lift. 2. Lift. 1. Lift. Cross your legs. Inhale, lift the bum, put it back down. Third, final set. Lift everything up. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Cross your legs. Inhale, hips up. Plant palms, exhale, jump back. Now this vinyasa flow, when you get to your down dog, this is the only seated position that we go onto the feet first. So take a leapfrog forward from down dog and jump the feet to the hands. And just take 5 breaths first in that low squat position. So lower the sit bones down. Maybe just put the hands in prayer. We're already at 3 and 2 and 1. Now to get the hands on the floor behind the heels, you got to lift your hips up. So you can lift your bum up, and you take your arms on the inside, put the palms on the floor behind the heels. So the weight is in the hand, so then you can start to wiggle the feet towards each other. Maybe you can get the feet to touch. Maybe if they can touch, you can lift them up and hook them so the ankles are flexed at 90 degrees. For 1, 2. Save a little bit of energy for that second set of crow. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale. Taking the feet out to the side, maybe one leg at a time. If you have to, reset up for your crow. Hold your Bakasana for at least one full breath. Hold it longer. You want to challenge yourself. When you had enough balancing on your arms, jump out, take a flow. And after this vinyasa flow, return to a seated position. Now in this seated position, you're going to put the soles of the feet on the floor, on the edges of the mat by bending the knees. Then bring the upper body on the inside of the legs and bring the elbows onto the floor. By getting the elbows low to the ground, you can take one arm at a time, take the arm underneath the back of the leg so the shoulder is under the back of the knee. The hands reach out onto the floor and they start to wiggle and they point towards the wall behind us. So the hands are moving back behind us and the legs are moving in front of us through the action of trying to straighten out your legs. Like the legs will get straight, the forehead will lower down to the floor, and the feet, the heels will start to lift right off the mat. Maybe not today, one day. All is coming. I count down from 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Second set, you can just stay right here. A second count of 5, or if you can move one step deeper, we're bringing the hands closer together at the back of the body, and we're wiggling the feet closer together at the top of the body. In other words, if the hands could reach, the fingers would interlace just above the back line where the pants are, and the feet would wiggle together right at the top of the head. Sapta Karmasana, your sleeping turtle variation. As I count down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The same exit as the position from before. Same vinyasa flow. After vinyasa flow, return to seated position. Bakasana, 2 variations. Difference between the two, the first one, the chest is open, so keep the chin up, keep the chest wide, keep the elbows close to the ribs, inhale, and then keeping that when you exhale and fold forward. Remembering the second variation is when we close the chest, when we tuck in the chin, and we round from the top of the spine. So in this variation, create space across the front of the body. Make sure you're not lifting your shoulders up towards your ears. Shoulders are down from the ears. Biceps are behind the heart. Elbows are close. You're as wide and as open as you have ever been. Now inhale, sit up as tall as you can. Exhale, tuck the chin down to the collarbones. Keep the belly button in the body, so you don't forward bend from the pelvis. You forward bend from the top of the spine down one vertebra at a time. Like you're going to touch your big toes with your forehead. You can allow the shoulders to come in. At the back, the shoulder blades would move apart from each other. Even here, the elbows can start to go out a bit. The front of the body is getting smaller. On your next inhale, come all the way back up to that long spine position. Exhale, your two hands, close your knees, hands to floor, vinyasa flow. Upavishtakonasana. Hop back through. Open out the legs at 90 degrees. Inhale, the hands grip the foot just below the pinky toes. And exhale, fold forward like you're going to bring your belly to the floor. Then the heart, and then the chin. So if you can get the chin down, focus on the forward bend coming from the deepest parts of the groins, where we're trying to bring the belly first before the chin. Notice if one leg is pressing down more than the other. Equally, actively ground both legs into the floor. Now we're going to do this exact same position with the legs in the air. So first release the feet, inhale, come up, go back into Bakasana, grip the outer edges of the feet, lean back, extend the legs out, and if you have the balance, look up at the ceiling above you as I count down from 5, 4, press the feet into the hands and pull the hands back into the feet. 3, 2, 1. Now put your hands down. Inhale, lift up your hips. Exhale, jump back, take a flow. One more position before we move on to the closing sequence. This one, you're going to lie down on your back. This is the exact same position we did in the standing sequence. We're just going to do the reclined supta variation. Inhale, raise the right arm and right leg. Grab onto that right big toe. And exhale, lift up your head so that you're bringing your head closer to your right knee. Counting down from 5. You pull back on the big toe, but then the mound of the big toe presses up towards the ceiling above. We're at 3, 4, and 5. Stay holding the foot. Inhale, put the head down to the floor. And exhale, open your right arm and right leg about 45 degrees out to the right side. Stay grounded and heavy on the left side of the body. So if you feel the left side lifting as you go over to the right side, you went too far. We're already at 3. Gaze would look off of the left shoulder. 4. And 5. Now inhale, raise the leg back up. Exhale, lift your head up to your knee. Inhale, put the head to the floor. And exhale, release the right side. Let's do the other side. Inhale, raise the left arm and left leg. Hook the big toe. Exhale, lift up from the floor, head to knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale the head to the floor. Exhale, open out to the left side, stopping when the right side starts to lose its foundation. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lifts the leg up. Exhale, lift up to the leg, head to knee. Inhale, head down. Exhale, release the left side down. Now, roll over to your right side. Inhale, come up to a seated position. Take your vinyasa flow. Return to seated after the flow. And lie down on your back as we enter the closing sequence. Our final 3 back bends. Final 3 doses of stimulation before we start to take it easy. So we bend the knees. We put the 2 feet on the floor within reaching distance of the middle finger. It's better to have an extra inch than too little of an inch. And wherever you plant the feet, we use the feet to refine the neutral pelvis while we're lying on our back. So you would lower the navel down, but keep the natural curve in the lower back. And then on the inhale, lift the 2 frontal hip bones up to the height of your knees and join the palms, interlace the fingers, just like we did in the standing sequence. Counting down from 5. Squeezing that imaginary block between your 2 knees for 4. Lifting the chest closer to the chin. Take 1 more full breath in and lower down. Exhale. 2 more just like that. Foundation is the feet. Feet gives us access to neutral pelvis. And then the pressing of the hands, either at the side body or up on the floor above the shoulders. Inhale initiates the lift into our second set without losing that connection to the feet. All that talk of the beginning of the practice, the feet pointing in the straight direction applies to this position here. 3, 2, 1. It's your exhale that lowers you down. Third set, last set, and then we just start to take it easy. Feet and hands support the spine and the neutral pelvis. Pressing into the floor, using the inhale to lift. Being the last and final set, you can count 5. You want to stay longer, take 10. Lower down with an exhale when you've had enough. When finished, rolling over to your right side. Slowly, consciously moving through another vinyasa flow. Vinyasa flow, returning to a seated position for our Pashi Multanasana. Passively, a little bend to the knee, arms under the knees, or actively straightening and engaging the legs and taking a little bit deeper of a grip towards the feet. A count of 10. Opening the space of the lower back for the kidney, getting our body ready for Shavasana. That's about to come in about 10 minutes from now. 8. Watching the stimulation leave the body. 7. 6. Noticing the body quieting down. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Last flow of your practice. After this, we go upside down for 3 minutes. Upside down, so the first and easier of all suggestions is to take your mat to the wall. Viparani Karani. You're going to lie on your back, resting your hips and your legs against the wall. If you have no wall access at home, you can lie on your back, maybe just put a belt around the feet and just hold your legs perpendicular to the floor. Legs up the wall. Unless you want to do, is it that time of the? Okay. No, yeah, do what you want. Yeah. If you know what you're doing at home, Salamba, Sarvangasana, or Shirshasana, this is definitely not the place to try to teach these positions. So if they are appropriate for you in your practice and you are used to doing that at home, by all means. The clock has begun. We are upside down for 3 minutes. 3 minutes is approximately 1 cycle of blood, meaning the blood that's leaving my heart right now, and if it was to take that longest trip possible, which would be to the very end of my big toe and back again, on average, 1 cycle of blood is around 3 minutes. So organically speaking, when we really want to trigger the organ, we want to hold these very special positions for a minimum of 3 minutes. Meaning all the good stuff kind of starts around the 3-minute point. Meaning in a way, we will progress to do these positions for longer than 3 minutes. We are upside down right now. The inversion would be triggering the heart. When the heart doesn't have to work as hard being upside down, it sends the signal to all the other signals that because the heart is relaxing, they too can relax. Can you notice this very subtle shift internally? "90 seconds done, 90 to go." "30 seconds." Wherever you are, exhale, coming down from being upside down. If you're on your head, take a child's pose. Making your way to a seated, cross-legged, or full lotus position. We have 3 positions here with legs crossed. And we start with Yoga Mudra. You're going to take your arms around the back, hold the outsides of the elbows. Or if around the back you are in Padmasana, you're going to hook onto your big toes and exhale, take a forward bend and lower your forehead to the floor at the front. I'm going to count down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, sit up as tall as you can. Put your hands in front of your knees. Join your thumb and your first finger together. You can close your eyes now at this point in your practice. Belly is drawn in. Abdomen is drawn up and in. The chin is lowered halfway down towards the collarbones. One minute. Eight. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Open your eyes, hands to the floor. One last 10 count, the quickest 10 count of the practice. Press into the palm, inhale, lift up off the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, make sure you're breathing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. If you need to flow, you take flow, then on to Shavasana. You don't need a flow, you take Shavasana. Remember to stay warm in your corpse pose. Maybe put some socks on or a sweater on or a blanket on your body. You want to keep the heat in. You're going to lie down for about 6 minutes, and then I'll take you out and we'll close up our little ritual and you'll be on with your day. Relax. Inhale. Take a deep breath. Notice the effect you've had on yourself. Now roll into the fetal position on the right side. And from there, use your arms and an inhale and help yourself up. Cross your legs. Join your hands. Let's finish with the sound of them. Inhale. Good work, ladies. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. We will see you next weekend. Bye-bye.